One, two, three, one, two, three, and a place to be. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. But this your dog is real. Um, yeah, everybody's been on a hiatus. Just wanted to check in, do a video. Um, touch on a couple of things that's happening. But yeah, it's been a while, man. I hope everybody's doing well. A lot of sports going on. College football starting to ramp back up. But if you're a fan of other sports, we had March Madness that went down. NBA playoffs is happening, right now. So maybe your favorite team is still in there. We got the draft, NFL draft coming up. MLB has, gotten to the swing of things. So if you got a favorite baseball team out there, I know you've been checking out some of the games. Um, Hockey, we're in the thick of things with hockey. Some Ovechkin fans out there. If you're just a sports fan in general, golf. So, we're in a, everybody loves the summer, getting towards the end of summer and the fall because we get deep into the football season. But there's a lot of sports going on right now. Um, and just wanted to touch, tap in a little bit and just go over a few things. But yeah, man, like I said, I hope everybody's been doing well. Hopefully your spring's going good so far. Weather's crazy all over the place, but hopefully you're not in one of those areas that's getting the tornadoes or all the crazy weather. Um, but other than that, yeah, man, you know, oh, also, before we get in, it has been a while, but please like, subscribe, share, tell a friend. If you haven't already told a friend, to tell another friend. If that friend has a big booty auntie and her friends, to go ahead and tune in. Um, IK's, he's still doing his thing. So I just wanted to tap in. Me and Ike gonna get on here in a little bit and do some more stuff. But I just wanted to touch on the draft coming up, and I don't know. Let's start with spring ball. Spring game went down. Just wanted to know what you guys thought about the spring game. Do you care about the spring game? Spring game even matter to you at all? Carson Beck didn't play. What guys are you looking at? What positions are you looking at? Spring is kind of like get the fans a little bit hyped, but a lot of the positions are changing. You got transfer portal that's still hot as ever. So there'll be players coming in, players coming out. There's no positions that's being set. But I just want to know, like, what positions are you looking forward to? Position battles or any transfers that you're looking to step up and really make an impact on this team this year. Spring game, man, I really kind of really don't pay attention to a whole lot. I know it's content and you want to see somebody doing something, but not a whole lot happened in spring game. Because you don't really know what your roster, who the players are going to be on your roster. Some players could look good. Some players like the offense look. I say it's no way for me at this point to really put a finger on what's what. I know a lot of people are covering, offensive players. I know Ray Joseph was a name that came up. JoJo was a name that came up. A few of the transfers, and it's just like I say right now, it's kind of hard to put a finger on, you know, how could you gauge what looked good or what didn't look good because it's spring and a lot's going to change, from March, April to August. A lot's going to change. A lot of positions are going to get solidified. You're going to have names come in. We're still hitting the portal. So, um, yeah. So, you guys let me know what you thought about the spring game. But I don't really put much stock in the spring game. I used to in the past because it kind of maybe it showed us a little bit about what the team is going to look like. But so much stuff changes and so much stuff happens. And I've gotten on too many hype trains from the past spring games that Nah, I'll wait. I'll wait it out. But it's definitely good to just tune in and to see the squad out there running around doing whatever. Um, really looking at what the defense is going to look like. But like I say, it's spring game, so you got a new defensive coordinator. He's still putting in his defense. Who's his players going to be? Identifying who his players going to be. What style of defense we're going to run. So it's a lot that still happens during this time period. I'm looking forward to what the defense is going to bring, but I've been down that train before too. Um, you know, things like tackling, things like coverage, being in the right position, communication, um, being able to disguise coverages. What base are we gonna run? What I'm saying? Like, what's our personnel gonna be to run the offense? So, um, like I said, it's a whole lot that between now and August is going to change, and we still got a lot to see. But like I said, good content nonetheless. Um, Wanted to know what you guys felt about this year with Mario. You guys feel like this year is going to be a make or break year? I thought last year was the show me year. You had the, we went through all of this. You had the quarterback, you had the transfers, you had the returning players and Ruben Bain and all these things, Xavier Strepo. You had a whole lot in the mix. As far as talent went on both sides of the ball, offensive line was supposed to be 10 times better, defensive line, secondary, even though we had lost James Williams and Cam Kitchens, but secondary is supposed to be, solid. We're supposed to, our running game was supposed to take another, leap. And we just seen it all, we just didn't materialize to, I think our fullest potential. So I just wanted to know, what did you guys feel like is this year going to be the year that's the maker, is the year that Mario has to prove, or um does he play out his contract? Um is there any pressure? Is there a hot seat? You come in with another, Heisman hopeful quarterback. Um you come in with a lot of just swirling potential and a little bit of buzz about what's happening with the U. So is this a year where if Mario doesn't produce, that he could potentially be out of here? Or Mario just has the luxury of playing out his whole contract, so he gets to coach the whole contract. And what do you think? Do you think he needs another year? Um, do you think he needs another year? Do you think he needs to, um, not have the pressure, allow the defensive coordinator and the new coaches and coordinators and staff to give them time? Or is it like, put up or shut up, and we'll buy out the contract and we'll bring in the next coach? Um, I think he should have some pressure. I think there should be some pressure this year for him to produce. Um, ACC title game, at least make the title game. Um, no bad losses. Um, but outside of that, yeah, I really do think that there should be some pressure, some known pressure, not just from the fan base, not just from the fan base, because the fans, you know how we do, you know what I'm saying? We're not, we're going to, you know, share our gripes and our groans or whatever. But I think it should come from, people who making, the shot callers. Hey, this is the year. Like, we need you to go ahead and produce. And when you produce, all right, you got the lengthy contract. So you're just playing into the contract. But if you don't produce, Hey man, we gotta get you up out of here. We're seeing it all across. This is the thing that I feel we're going to experience this year. We either got to keep up with NIL or we're going to fall behind. We're going to fall back into obscurity. And, and I mean fall back into obscurity, not just with players. It has to be with the coaches too. It has to be with the coaches because we're gonna spend the money on the players, right? But it has to be where we're willing to, like some of these other universities, we're willing to buy out that contract. We gotta be willing to bite the bullet, buy out that contract, and get somebody in who's going to produce, who's going to give us a fighting chance. Because outside of that, player after player, we can spend all the money on all the players. We did that last year. And we're doing it again this year. Players, if you don't get the right coach, it's in college football. It's going to change more into a um player ran like league. It's still considered amateur athletics, and it's turning more into professional athletics where the players run it. But college football is ran by the coaches because the coaches have, a lot of the coaches get tenure. You have coaches that have been coaching places for 10 years, and they have, the coaches are the faces of the universities. Nick Saban's, your Kirby Smarts. You think of older names like Steve Spurrier or Lou Holtz or Joe Paterno or Lloyd Carr. Um, these names are the faces of college football. A lot of the universities, because how the NCAA athletics were run, they didn't put the power and the publicity behind the players. They put it behind the coaches. So the coaches have, the power to dictate where the university goes. That's why when we look at a team like Miami, it isn't, to me, I don't look at it so much as the talent, right? I look at it as the coach, right? The coach has the power to dictate. Look at what Prime has done in Colorado, right? Just as a coach, even though he got great players, he's going to prove it. He's going to show it more this year. But the coach kind of can dictate which way the university goes, right? In the NFL and professional athletics, the players, a player, a position player, quarterback, a running back can make all the difference, right? And coaches will come and go. Coaches will get a year, 2 years, and they're out of there. But the players can make teams, franchises. The players do. In college football, it's kind of the other way around. So, um, I really want, I really, if Mario doesn't do well this year, I would really want the university to look at how the rest of college football is kind of playing out. We seen it last year with Ryan Day, right? Ryan Day had been winning, but they hadn't won a national title. But Biz has won the Big Ten, has had great players, receivers, defensive players, but he hadn't won. And the pressure was on last year. They lost at home to Michigan. That was a bad loss. Horrible loss. And nothing short of a national championship was going to save his job. And when you look at that team, like they went out and they performed. Um, but without that national title, Ryan Day was gone. They're going to do whatever it took to get a coach that was going to get in there and win. We need the coach, right? Alabama's going through a they're gonna go through a little down period because Kalen DeBoer has to build what his reputation is going to be at Alabama. He built this reputation at Washington. You got to build it at Alabama. We seen what happened with Kirby, right? When Kirby went to Georgia, he had to build his reputation. We're going to see it with Sarkeesian in Texas. He's going to have to build what his reputation is going to be. Are they going to be a perennial contender every single year? We're going to see it with Bill Belichick, right? This is going to be his first year bringing his program, his well-oiled machine to North Carolina. We're going to see what is his program going to be, but it's the coaches. Um, so yeah, I, I do want you guys to leave comments and let me know what you guys think about you know how should Miami move as far as college athletics is going. College athletics and NIL NIL is changing, right? How college athletics is viewed, and it isn't so much just about college football and having a hardcore fan base and teams hoorah behind your local university. It's a money game, and that was the wool NIL pulled back. It revealed it pulled the veil back, right? Because the NCAA and these universities and these organizations have been making billions of dollars, and the players weren't making nothing, but the players were making them billions. All right, so now the players got a hand in it, right? And they got a nice hand in it. They still don't have the biggest hand because you still got coaches making 10 million a year, 8 million a year. So they still don't have the biggest hand, but the players do have are able to, you know, they're changing how college athletics is run, right? I do think Miami has to get on board all the way around, right? All the way around. You see what happened with the basketball team. Larinaga is a great coach, great basketball coach. We love Jim Larinaga. Larinaga is just like, listen, we have to. If it's going to turn into this, I got to be able to keep up. And we go to the final four, and I lose 7 or 8 players. We got to go get 7, 8 more new players, and we got to pay, we got to scout, we got to recruit, we got to do all of that. But the next thing they did was their next hire. So they hired Jai Lucas, who was a Duke assistant. He has now Duke recruits, decommitting from Duke and following him there. You get another name. Hopefully, the name attracts players. You build a solid program. The program stays solid for years. That's what I'm kind of looking at with Miami, right? And Larinaga had like a down year. Had a couple. Not last year was a down year. Year before that wasn't a great year, but they had just made the Final Four, and the year before that they made the Elite Eight. All right, so by standards of college basketball, you know those are great runs. But if the university isn't ready to pull the trigger on making those calls, like the Hurricanes could float in like this middle space for a long time because we have to play out this contract with Mario, and then it'll be like who's the next person. Um, if we win, let's say we win another 9 games this year, they got it projected at 8 games. So we win another 9 games, we make it to a bowl game and lose again. Do we win another 9 games, 10 games, make it to a bowl game, win or lose again? We're going to be in this middle space, and we're not building up. Like you expect certain teams to be in it every single year, or be contending or competing for every single year. That's what that's what we want Miami to be. They haven't been that, and NIL is going to make it harder because players are going to come in and out way faster now. A player doesn't get his, he doesn't get his playing time, or not even playing, he just don't get his money the way he wants it. He'll be out of here. So the coach is going to have to do even more faster because I got to get this player in. We got to win and get out of there. And you got a player like Jeremiah Smith who won his freshman year, and he's looking just to see what potentially is out there. He may leave anyway. So you got to be able to maximize that talent. The coach, you got to have his brand. He got to have his system. He got to have his program. So when the players come in, it isn't like this whole brand new thing every year. I got my program, I got my system, I got how things should be run. We have our brand of how we play. It could be more pro style. It could be we're running, fast, we're spread, running, read option mostly. Um, we're doing run and gun, whatever they wanted to call it at one point in time. Um, it is they gotta have the brand, right? Is our team going to be a press? Are we going to be a coverage team? Are we going to, have our linebackers flying up the field? Are we going to have? We're going to get, a ton of, uh, one year we led the country in tackle for losses and turnovers. Are we going to be a run stopping team? Or what is going to be our identity? Um, and once you have that system, you have that structure, then it's easy as NIL continues to um, evolve to get players, pull them in our system, plug you in, boom, you can produce right away. We don't have to keep going through this. We got to rebuild and we got to build again. Like these couple of years, I wouldn't mind us losing if we're creating an identity. All right, we're creating, okay, you can't run on us, you can't throw on us. Our rushing game has taken a step forward. Our passing game, no matter who the quarterback is, we can get yards, we can throw the ball. You have a serviceable quarterback, we could throw the ball. um But if you don't have that system and that structure in place, it's going to be really difficult. It's going to be really difficult. But yeah, just I think there should be some pressure on Mario. But we'll see. We'll see. I also wanted to know what you guys thought about NIL. Should there be should it be regulated more? I know there's going to be some regulations coming down about how much each university can spend. Do you think it should be like a higher number, lower number? Do you think there should be um, players able to transfer in and out of the portal as fast? Um, do you think NIL is a good thing? What do you think about the NIL? Do you think that is college going to turn completely away from amateur athletics? Like players going to be going to college because they can't go straight pro, so they're going to come to college. They're not going to class. They're not there for school. They're just there to play sports, um, and make the university millions in TV contract and revenue and merchandise sales and bowl game revenue and ticket sales when the teams are going to conference championship games and big bowl games and multiple bowl games. So this is just more money. And when you think about it, that's what they're there to do. They're there to ultimately entertain fans and make money. It's a game. But what do you think about where is it going in the future? Um, oh yeah, man. Looking forward to upcoming season, what's going on, um, what players are going to step up and take a who's gonna take over the team and who's gonna be the face of the team and who's gonna be a breakout star and maybe somebody who wasn't a big star or you didn't expect who stepped up and stepped into the spotlight. There's a lot of positions where it's going to be some new faces and maybe it's going to be some growing pains this year. I don't think Carson Beck is walking into what Cam Ward walked into. I think Cam Ward walked into like a team that had, you know, players that had been there for a few years and um you got a lot more like young talent this year. A lot more players who hadn't played and didn't see a bunch of playing time last year. So things gonna be a little bit different. But we'll see about what we'll see the first game. Let's just say that we're gonna see what this team is built up, made out of the first game. You know, Notre Dame isn't what Florida was last year. Notre Dame was in a national championship game, well coached team, talent, but they're gonna also have a new quarterback. So it's gonna. I guess you're gonna have to see things on both sides. But yeah, just wanted to check in with everybody, man. It's been a while. Been a while. Like I said, hoping everybody's doing good. Shout out to South Coast. Shout out to Cuban. Shout out to Katie. Shout out to everybody at the bottom of the map who's been, tapped in with us for a while. May have, you see this video and you, is this a new video? Is it an old video? What is it? When it comes up in that mention in that feed. You may not know, but yeah, we live in 2025. Um, and we're gonna jump back in, start hitting you with more content, hitting you with more videos, going through. We may just go through a little bit of all the sports, man. One thing we do love Miami. We love Miami sports. Love all the sports. So we definitely follow. The Marlins, Florida Panthers, Hurricanes. The Miami Heat. They're in the playoffs right now, getting their ass whipped right now. Like I said, your favorite basketball team, baseball team, hockey team. If you're a golfer, if you love golf right now, um, a lot of good golfing going on right now. If you love Indy 500, NASCAR, you love Formula One, uh, whatever it is, man. It's a lot going on, but hopefully you're staying safe. Hopefully all is well. And till next time, man, it's your player partner from the bottom of the map on behalf of Ike Hayes. Also, my dog, he's still doing his thing. He gonna be tapping in with us too, and giving us some outlooks on what's going on. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do a little draft coverage. I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go over the draft and maybe look at some past Miami Hurricanes draft picks and look and see who was. Maybe let's find some hidden draft gems from the past of Miami. Maybe some draft busts. Let's go through some little draft history and just have fun with the draft as we expect Cam Ward to get picked number one. But as always, it should play a partner for the bottom of the map. Until next time, I'm gone.